Hey everybody, and welcome to another lap of the Nürburgring. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, even though we're still at the ring. Dr. Slow is hosting a new track day server full of really fun race cars, like mostly sub-7. Like 60% of the cars are sub-7 capable. So this is my first time on the server, the last car available, and I happen to get blessed with a server reset, which is Content Gold. So, here we go. A very busy lap of the Nürburgring in the slowest car during a server reset. It should make for either a disaster or an entertaining video with some good driving. Being in this one of the slowest cars on the server, I really feel like you have to cherish defensive driving a little bit more than anything to enjoy the lap. I'm not really going to be able to pounce on people too much unless there's a big difference in our driving capabilities. So what I'm going to focus on mainly is getting people by me with everybody losing as little time as possible. You can see just how many people are out here tonight, on this day. This was a while ago, to be honest. Just haven't gotten around to recording the narrative. But 2 people get by, no problem. That's kind of what we're looking for the whole game. I see a guy coming up on the inside of this corner, so I stick to the inside of the next corner, but he seems to have dipped a wheel off the curb and lost control. Went straight into a barrier. That was a rather unfortunate start. Good news is he's in such a fast car, I might even get to see him again later if he restarts right now, or rejoins. Coming to this nice corner here, the Ferrari has no ABS, so locks up. I don't think any of these cars had ABS, actually, on second thought. But, yeah, unfortunately for him, he locks up in that corner. It's kind of easy to do, and goes a little wide. Thankfully, he didn't crash. The Z4 gets by no problem, squeaks right by when he saw a couple quick flashes. That's something you can really use to differentiate drivers who are aware of their surroundings and not, is just using braking and flashing lights to indicate when it's safe to pass. A little bit of body language, so to speak, some signaling. Ferrari's coming up pretty quickly right here, and another car to follow, and into a potentially dangerous section. He could close that gap right now probably pretty easily. This car doesn't go too quick in the top end. Its acceleration's pretty nuts though. And there's a double right-hander coming up that can be kind of sketchy to pass on. And here he is right at my tail now, so I see him going for the right side, and I stick to it. And he sort of takes a moment of faith, a leap of faith there, and trusts that I'll stick to the inside. He trusts that I realized what was happening. And it paid off. We both got through there, no problem. That's how it should work. Passing on the right shouldn't be that big a deal if both people know what they're doing, honestly. Like, there's a time and a place, and you can make it work. Corvette zips by like lightning. That was pretty quick. Seems like a really fast driver. I wish I could see what his lap time was. And it looks like Ferrari super fast coming up on my tail now. Now this Ferrari here, I've seen him a few times. He's quite persistent, and you'll see that as time goes on. So here we go, flashing the signal, and he takes it. Beautiful thing right there. We both get to come back to the inside to swing wide to the right curb and come across the left curb. Very good driving right there. A very quick pace through that section. That's one of my favorite sections. Get to go super fast, and then there's this tight follow-up. Very quick pass from our friend in the crazy-looking car. I don't even know what that is. You can see there our super fast friend. Doesn't give up, cuts across the grass, and just gets back on track. I mean, who knows why. Like, I think there comes a point where you can sort of lose track of how much time you've lost through all your incidents, and that's sort of the breaking point of when you restart. But like 1 or 2 mistakes, even if they would be fatal in real life, as long as you end up with your tires pointing in the right direction, you don't lose too much time, most people carry on. Coming around here, very fun corner leading up to something most people overcook. It can be very dangerous here with the camber of the road, so it's best to sort of just relax for a minute, and then you can power out of it just briefly before you end up heavy on the brakes. But a lot of people will keep in there a little too hot, and then if the car's going too quick, it just bounces all over, and it's hard to get under control in time. So our Ferrari super fast friend is caught up again. That didn't take too long, and I'm not too worried about him, but as you can see back there, there's another fellow on the way. Another person who is quite persistent. And when they... well, you'll see. Anyway, the Ferrari catches up. I tried to give him an opportunity to pass. He's like, no, that's a dangerous area, and he waited for it, and then the next spot he took it just fine. So very good reading from him there, and you know, maybe a little over defensive on my part, getting off the gas a little too soon and trying to create space in a dangerous section. But that's kind of a habit that's developed over people, just like, you know, freaking out that you're not letting them pass right away. So chicken egg situation probably. Our orange and blue car friend in the background is going wide again, so I'm seeing all this in my rearview mirror. I'm just keeping it in the back of my mind. He's quite far away now, so I don't really have to worry about him just yet, but as we can see, he is persistent despite a couple errors and those are only ones I've witnessed, so Lord knows. Coming up a big uphill straight here. It's not bad for this car because you can't really get the car to max out, so you can kind of utilize that acceleration and that shorter gear ratio. And then coming around this corner here, minimal braking leading into it, and our orange and blue car friend has caught up already. I can see him there in my rearview mirror. So just weary of that as I come up to the section before the carousel. He's actually gaining quite quickly. That car has a much bigger top end than my car does. A little bit of walk up right there, but not as big as our friend in the orange and blue car. And there's our super fast friend again. Anyway, the orange and blue car somehow bounces right back, and he's coming in hot. And I'm staring at him in my rearview mirror, and all I see is this. Three-wheeling it, and I'm so fixated on what I just saw, I kind of turn in a little too much and have to counter steer, and I end up three-wheeling it, so that's pretty funny. You see, I just go away, man. Get on with your day. Don't do it behind me, whatever you're doing. I had enough. I let him go. Look, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna fight that guy. He's gonna crash into me, not because he is impatient, but because he doesn't know his braking points. People like that you want to have out in front, probably, if it's not a race. This is just a track day lap kind of thing, so personal time's all you're really worried about, and even then there's traffic, so like, it's not really, it's just you're out here for fun, you're cruising with people. Our buddy took a little grass there again, and it's my turn to take a little grass. I just was a little too confident with my speed there, quite a bump on the wall. But you know what, I didn't lose much time. What was I saying earlier? I can keep that was like, what, 7/10 of a second I might have lost, so I'm cool with that. I'm going to keep going. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And you can see right there, the orange and blue car tapped out. He's like, man, that's like my 15th crash. I have no idea how much time I've lost. It's best to just reset. I think that's got to be some kind of rule, unwritten rule. Our GTR friend from the very beginning makes a nice clean pass on me. And now we've got a little bit of a train building up behind me. So we're going to let this fellow go. I don't know what car that is, I forget, but he and I had a couple laps after just cruising. Very cool dude. Well read. I closed the door on the Z4, takes a quick peek around the outside, and then just tucks right back in. And unfortunately for him, he's going to lose a few seconds here, getting held up behind me. And right over this crest, he just takes a leap of faith. I think he knew that like this is the next passing point, and he's going to get to the right. And he just sent it, like before I indicated or anything. So great knowledge of the track from that guy. Coming up to one of my least favorite corners, this right-hander up ahead. I don't know where the brake... I know where the braking point is, kind of, but I don't know where the turn-in point is or where you should be when you turn in. So I'll often do it that Z4 to just there, run wide. I'm getting more comfortable with this corner. It's very common to run wide there, like a friend in the red car. I don't know what that is. It looks like I'm not even going to just make myself look bad, a Mazda, but I don't know. Getting a little squirrely on the exit of the carousel there. I thought he might have been... you know, teasing me by turning the wheel back and forth or just like playing around, but genuine oversteer. It goes around the left side, and then we have a fun little incident with this Mercedes where it almost looks like an intentional ram of our friend in the red car, and unfortunately he ricochets off of him and straight into me, totally out of control, just like on the final straight too. There's the pantry right there, and I went to ram him in reverse to show my displeasure, and he returns to pit. He didn't even finish his lap, so it wasn't that important to him after all. Despite all that, we still managed to pull off a 743 in reverse. That's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye.